To assign work in SchoolLoop, you're going to be on your portal page, and when you first log in, that's your portal. You can get to it by going to your name up at the top right-hand corner of the screen, or you can click on the SchoolLoop logo on the left-hand side. But now to assign work, you click the orange button, and you choose the class that you want to assign work in. And now on this screen, you get to choose which periods you want. It'll probably be all of them, but you can unclick it or just do one at a time. It's up to you. I'm going to assign it to both of my classes. Here I choose the date that I assign the homework and the date that it is due. If I want it the same day, because it was something I did in class, I can change it so the assign date and the due date are the same day. I can repeat assignments. If I do something like every Tuesday, I can have that assignment repeat. Here for points, this is the total number of points that you want for the assignment. So let's say I want it to be 100 points. I can put that in. When I click somewhere else, notice that the scaled points also is 100. So it will automatically put in the scaled points. When you'd want to use this might be, for example, if you're giving a Scantron test. Sometimes I'd give a test that had 20 questions, but I wanted that test worth 100 points. So I can type in 20 here and change my scaled points to 100, and it will do the math for me. So if a student got like a 17 out of 20, I just have to put that they got the 17 correct, and it will automatically multiply it by 5 for me to make it out of 100 points. And if you click on the little question mark there, it will tell you that. The next part is the category. So this is what category you want to put that assignment in, if you're doing weighted categories, whatever you want. Right here is publish in, and publish in, you have 3 options. If you publish the assignment in the calendar, it will go to the students' portals, it will go to your course site, it will also go in the homework email that is sent home daily to students and parents. So everyone would be able to see this, know it's something that's coming up and to do, and they know when the assign and due date is. I would generally use that if, let's say, I was assigning homework to read chapter 3, but it's not something I was going to grade, so I didn't want it to go in my gradebook. That's when I would choose calendars. The default option is calendars and gradebook, so it will show up in all of the calendars for students and parents. It will go in the homework email, etc. But it will also show up in your gradebook. Anytime you want to grade something, you need to publish it to the gradebook. So this is what you probably are going to use most of the time, because you want students and parents to see what you're doing in class if they're absent, or to find any makeup work, things like that. The last option is gradebook only. Gradebook only is if you did not want to publish it for students on their calendar or homework email. I would rarely use this. One option that I might use this as an example is some teachers will give homework assignments and then they stamp them each day for a week, and then they collect them on Friday and only enter 1 grade into the gradebook. So in that case, I might do all my assignments for the week as calendar only, and then at the end of the week, maybe I would do gradebook only when I collect it and enter in that total score. And this last part, time to complete, I think that's if you're creating units and lessons, you might want to say that this assignment is expected to take 20 minutes of the class period, but you can leave that blank. Over here on the right is where you can type in the name of the assignment. So let's say that this was the Unit 1 exam. I can type in instructions here for projects or for the exam. Maybe I wanted to give my students the study guide ahead of time. I could attach a file and attach my Word document that was the study guide. Or maybe my study guide is a Google Doc and I can share with anyone with the link, and then I could add the link to this so students can click on it and have access to the Google Doc that's a study guide. Some things you can also do is you can click on this pin down here. Maybe you wanted to add in your objectives, and so you have a box that will be labeled objectives. There's other things you could add as well. What you need to make sure that you do is if you press Save Draft, what happens is it saves that assignment and it brings you back to your course page, but it hasn't published it. So when you save it, that's just like maybe before class you are trying to work on an assignment, you're trying to get the files attached to it, but you didn't finish, and so because class started, and so it's not actually published. You will not find it in your gradebook. Students will not yet see it in their calendar. To go back to that assignment to edit it, you click on Courses, you go back to your class that you were creating it in, and on the left-hand side, you'll see the content for that class. Here's the assignment that I just was creating. Where'd it go? I'm looking for Unit 1 exam, or I thought I called it, oh, no, maybe it's right here, it's unpublished still. So I can click on that. When I get to that little orange line, that's where I click, and then that says Unit 1 exam. It was kind of hidden, I didn't scroll down. But now with this assignment, I can copy it if I wanted to copy it to a different class. I can edit it, so if I wanted to add more information or actually type in my objectives, I can delete it if I needed to. But what I'm actually going to do is publish this assignment. When I publish this assignment, notice on the left-hand side it doesn't say unpublished anymore. It is published, students will see it, it will be in the calendar, and it will now be in my gradebook. So I'm going to go over to my gradebook, click on Biology, and now I can see my Unit 1 exam here in my gradebook. One thing to notice about your gradebook is all of the assignments with the X above them, those have not been published to students. So the assignment was published, but the grades have not been. So after you publish assignments, when you're ready to publish grades, you have to publish them separately. So the ones with green are grades that I've published to my students. And I've had some students add into my class late, and let's say they made up this work, I can enter in points for them. I can enter in their vocab that they did over here. Maybe they did the Draw a Scientist, but maybe I am letting them be excused from this first day activity. So now when I want to publish my progress report, I click up here, and it's not a progress report like we're familiar with. Progress reports getting mailed home. This progress report is just letting the kids know what their progress is in the class. It's publishing the grades from your gradebook. So I'm going to click Publish Progress Report, but I'm not done. It hasn't actually physically published them yet. Notice here on the left-hand side, I can see my assignments. The ones that are unpublished have X's, the ones that are published are green. But let's say that I want to publish another assignment. I can look and see how many I've graded. I've only graded 2 out of my 10 kids, but I'm going to go ahead and grade it anyways, or publish it anyways, so I'm going to check that. When you do publish, I have 2 courses, 2 class periods in this gradebook, 2nd and 9th period. So when I publish, I have to publish both at the same time. So if you're entering in grades for 2nd period and you finish that, you can't publish yet, or you shouldn't publish yet until you've published the grades for period 9, because they will both be published at the same time. So now that I've checked the boxes that I want to publish, I'm going to do Publish Progress Report. Now you can see that these columns have all been published because they have the little green dot above them.